Yo, what's up? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. I'm very excited for this video. I've been sick the past couple of days, but I'm finally getting over it and feeling better. And so, yeah, I'm back. In today's video, we're gonna go over this trending video that I've been seeing on TikTok and basically YouTube and everywhere else of these. I think they're FaZe Clan streamers versus like college graduates, and I've felt like it was very fitting for the season because school just got back. And so, yeah, I wanted to give my thoughts as a marketing specialist on kind of like the industry of like streaming and everything. And I'm also kind of like a fan of streamers. I don't watch them. I do see like clips of like the streams, and those are really funny. I've seen some of the clips of this, but I've never seen the full version of the video itself. This is going to be really fun for me, but I didn't realize. I thought it was like on Jubilee or one of those like media platforms, like Middle Ground or whatever. But this is actually uploaded from FaZe. Let's go right into it. Oh, I forgot. Before we get started, check the links below for videos that I've done before on the creator economy. It's going to give you a little bit more insight as to why we're doing this. But yeah, check out the link below for the videos that I've done before. Also, follow me on Instagram, follow me on Twitter, and all that stuff. So it's all down there. So check it out. Okay, let's get started. All right. I think it's this one right here. Okay, just to be clear, I don't watch any of these guys, so I've no clue who these guys are. This Asian dude, I've seen him before, and I think the middle one right there, I think he's also like a huge streamer too. And I think this other guy too on the right is like huge in gaming, so I don't know. Okay, this is context. Wow, it is from Jubilee. Okay, cool. All right. See, I know my YouTube content. Okay, let's go. Forgot to mention, I did go to college. I have a degree. I have a degree in mass communications, and I went to a D2 school, so it wasn't like a huge school, but I did go out and party all the time at like KU, K-State. I even went to like Florida for a few party. So I see kind of like the D1 lifestyle, but I wasn't like, ingrained into it. So I kind of just want to give that context as we're watching this video. Okay, it's not that simple. Okay, my fear for watching this video is that these streamer guys are going to rage bait the whole time. Because I mean, they have some very, very solid claims, but it's either way, it's not as simple as they make it out to be. Like, yeah, you go to school, but some people don't have the necessary qualities to be a streamer, to be a content creator, for a few reasons. I think one, it's like, what are my friends and family going to think? They don't know the consistency of it. They don't know content buckets to do. They don't know how social media platforms talk to each other. So in regards to just like getting a degree and bettering their life, like it's a very valid thing to do. The way he explains streaming, it's not that simple. Like, I know streamers, okay, and they're not struggling, but it's a grind on a day in, day out basis to get these subs in and to get monetized. And so it's quite a bit of a longer process if you don't know what you're doing. And that's kind of like what I'm trying to do now, is like not facilitate how to be a content creator, but how to build a business around your content. So hope that makes sense. Hey, you can't argue with that. If he streams every day, if you stream a cool 9 to 5, 8 to 5, you're gonna make some money and gain some subscribers too. So, because if you're consistent, you're doing that on day in, day out basis, that's pretty good. Also, if you guys don't know, I'm looking at my iPad to the left of me, or to the right of you, so I can see myself. But yeah, I mean, he makes a good point. Hey, she's just like me. I went to school, got my degree, and I make content. Now, my content's getting better over time. Obviously, I'm not like these guys, but like I said, it's a day in, day out process. Hey. Okay. I got the degree I got. I use it every day. Okay. I'm in marketing. We do, mass communications. And yeah, I mean, that's kind of weird that she didn't want to talk about her degree, but I use my degree, just putting it out there. I use it in my business, and I also use it at work. This dude said entrepreneur and degree. Okay. The rage baiting isn't working. I mean, it is working, but also at the same time, it's like not conducive to the actual conversation here. I feel like she's trying to make a point about going to college for the relationships. And I don't know how it is in D1 schools, but in D2, I barely talk to any of the people that I met in college. All my friends today are people that I met literally in 8th grade or in high school, like early high school. And all my business connects are just people that I talk to, not on a day-to-day basis, but like on a weekly basis. And I can see some of her points being that like I did like network a lot in college, and one thing led to another and led to another thing, and then I got my job. But like it took a lot of vine swings to get to my job. I mean, I feel like both sides are right because like you can technically just network your way up in any scenario, whether it's as in sales, marketing, some other things like HR and like admin work, like you're gonna need to go to school for. I'm just talking about business in general. I'm not talking about like anything else. But like marketing and sales, you could definitely network your way up. I mean, that's how people in LA do it. Like you just go to the right rooms and not to the right parties, but like to the right events, like content creator events. Like you just go in there and shake your hands and really build your confidence. But I will say the way to network in college is a lot more fun than it is from outside of college. That's just what I'll say. Real. Yo, is that actually her name, Rhonda? Because that'd be kind of like messed up if that's just like the subtitle, like playing like a skit or some shit. Man, I hope this person's name is actually Rhonda. Also, I'm kind of hoping this is like a real interaction and this isn't just like they paid them to be there and to, I don't know. Okay. I respect it. I respect it. Okay, to be fair, it's quite hard to become a lawyer. If the streaming thing was working at the time, I probably would have advised him, you know, not as a friend, not as a mentor or business guy or anything, but just somebody looking from the outside looking in, you know. It's pretty hard to become a lawyer, let's be honest. All right, buddy is rage baiting for sure, I think. I will say that is a redeeming factor if you are thinking about going to college or not, is if you're getting a scholarship, even if it's just a little bit. It doesn't have to be full ride, but if it's full ride, great. But if you're getting a little bit of help, I think that's a good indication that you should like think about it. But I don't know. I'm still like on the fence between should you go to college, should you not? I mean, barring the fact that if you want to go as a doctor or a lawyer or anything like that, engineer, obviously go to college. But if you're going in there for some bullshit ass fucking degree and you know which ones it is, don't even try to fight yourself on it. I took a bullshit degree. Like, it's fine. Yeah. That's gotta be cap. That's gotta be cap. I will say, to be fair, my first day in college, I remember this vividly. The very first, I don't know if other colleges have this, but we had this like thing called like, I think it was like College 101 or something like that. Basically, when you're a freshman, obviously I was like 18 or whatever, and they walk you through kind of like the whole semester in this class. They teach you, you know, how to think about college, what to pursue, what not to pursue, safety guidelines, stuff like that for when you're out partying and doing stupid stuff with your friends. One of the first lessons that really gave an impact, I think it was like the second or third week of the semester, the professor was talking to us about, you know, if you're here just to make money, you can go work at McDonald's and make, you know, $25 an hour at the time, which was like a lot of money if you're like a manager or whatever. So I don't know that necessarily going to college is all about money. I guess that's like a internal thing that you got to figure out before going to school. If it's something clearly that you want to make money out of, it's still a good good vehicle for you to be in to make more money down the road. But that's just something I feel like you gotta pre-plan before you start spending money you know, for tuition and stuff like that. But back to this point, I have met some people in college and even after college who are quite pretentious about, well, I want to save society and I want to save my community, blah, 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 blah. And they work at like some desk job. And not to say that you can't do that from a desk job, but I don't know. I feel like there's not enough influence for me to believe that you're like actually doing stuff that's critically moving the needle in any community, not just the one I live in. But there are a lot of pretentious people in college, and I will say that. Fun fact, my first job ever after like in college, after like high school, was actually working in the diversity and inclusion department at the school I went to. I almost said what it was. The school that I went to, and I was doing social media work for them. And that was my very first marketing job, actually. And I was 18. So putting that out there. I've been in the game for a while. Damn. I could see that happening, but not to the extent that this guy probably thinks, or this person, I don't want to misgender anybody, but this person probably thinks. I feel like there are some aspects of like the streaming community and revenue from generated from like streaming and stuff like that. Part of probably these guys' story. You gotta admit, okay, streamers of any sort, content creators of any sort that are making substantial amount of income from just content and some side brand deals here and there. Not the things that I'm doing like with my business, but like just what these people are doing. The streamers are doing brand stuff and like donos and stuff like that. Substantial income that is coming from this kind of content. You'll understand from having met so many people in my life, this is like a 0.0000001%. This four guys right here, although you see them often, it's not like the usual. Okay. People who are at this level, even somebody who has like 100K subscribers, like that's like a 0.0001% of all society. So take that with a grain of salt. We have probably another 30 minutes to go through of this. And I probably should have said this before, but these guys are like, unicorns. Okay. Think about like people who, back in the day who made like the railroad tracks. The name's blanking out of my head, but, descendants of those families, you'll probably never meet them in your life. And that's just a fact because they're so rare. People like this are so rare. Okay. Anyways. Oh, I've heard of this guy. Adapt. Yeah. I think my little brother likes this dude. Pretty sure he's a gamer though. It's funny because, most of like the online business world, we're all starting to wear all black. Like I'm trying to wear all black now. Like I'm saying, just brought this to this only clean sweatshirt I had. All black is the uniform for online biz. Bro, buddy's 35? Wow. Looks good for 35. Man, I hope I look that good when I'm 35, but wow. All right, rage baiting is crazy. Yeah, valid points. Okay. I feel like both sides right now are pretty even. I can see both sides. This person, like I said, don't want to misgender anybody. I do feel like he's saying something that's really something I think about a lot, which is something that like most people should consider college because it is quite easier to consume as a potential career path for most people in general, not just in the United States, but like all over the world. Streaming, online business, building an agency, building a personal brand. There's so many intricate details about it that people try to make it easier to consume for the mass public. But it's really, I feel like for me, still kind of like not as socially understood concepts. I think most people think that it's just like posting TikToks here and there, where writing a trend or writing a trending audio and you pop off for like 20,000 some views and you think that, you can start making money from it when that's not the case, obviously, or else there would be a lot more people like the phase people walking around. And the truth is there isn't. Like I said, there's still a far minority of the society in general, people who make money online. I would probably say to this substantial amount, like I said, still less than 1% of all population. So part of this dude's argument, I think his name is Brandon. His argument isn't that there isn't knowledge that you can build a substantial amount of income from. It's like a filtered, aggregated base of knowledge that you can get from like a school, which is basically their product, right? I mean, some schools are more well known for different things. So, like the school I went to was known for law, business, and nursing, I believe. Is like what they're known for. As some other schools are, more prominently known for other things. And I guess from his perspective, it's like the congregation of like knowledge that a person who's just like regular can easily consume without having to scour the internet for it. And then also doing the testing, trial, things like that. So I see the point that he's trying to make. So anyways, okay. Yeah, it's not always hundreds of thousands, but it is to the normal people. It is a substantial amount of money. I can't believe she just blurted out $30,000 like it's nothing. I doubt this person even has like 20K in their savings. Like it's still a lot of money to be convinced to go to a school for 4 years just to potentially have a leg up on the next person to get a job. Man, no bullshit, just real quick. I know somebody who went to UCLA, and this is just what I heard, but I heard from some close friends that this person was paying like 30 grand per semester for classes. And, there's 2 semesters a year, so do the math on that. I've made a video about this before. You can check it out. I'll link it like over here or whatever, however that works. The phase guys are basically talking about cost opportunity. Like, I'm not gonna lie, when I was in college and I was taking it like for real, I was being serious about it. It is a lot of effort to go into 4 or 5 classes and like, your classes per semester. When I was starting off, I was doing 4 because I was wanting to take it easy and, ease into it. But then the last 2 years, I was taking 5 classes per semester, and it is a lot. Like you do, and that was without ChatGPT, but now you probably do it, a lot easier, but it is a lot of time. And it's not just something that you can just kind of like turn off. I do feel like it is a job to be in school full time. So cost opportunity here is something you got to think about when you're wanting to stream or wanting to build a business or wanting to do like, something on the side. What I was doing on the side when I was in college, I was serving at Olive Garden. Okay. And that was just extra money for me to live off of. All right. That person wasn't really even trying that hard. I did want to go back to something that the previous guy said about how he had a business right after college, blah, blah, whatever. That's not normal. Okay. Don't watch this video and think, oh, I'm going to go to college and I'm going to get an entrepreneurship degree. First of all, first thing they teach you in school of business, don't lose money. That's literally the first rule of any business. Don't lose money. And like, especially if you're not like this Fortune 500 company, these companies can lose money every day. Millions of money every day just because they're playing. It's a game at that point. But when you're in the fucking beginning, like you cannot lose money. And what do you do when you go to school? You lose money, you lose your cost opportunity. You basically can't have a 9 to 5 or just like a regular full-time job. You're also putting money into the school first instead of like your own business. Cause like say, 4 years is going to cost you $50,000. If you had $50,000 and you put it into yourself and your business, you're going to learn a lot more from those mistakes than you did, spending time sitting in classrooms and talking to girls and stuff like that. So good for him if he actually was profitable after college and made money. I, for one, have lost my business and had to start over, but I didn't go to school for business. So it's different end goals for everybody. But yeah, that's not normal. A lot of you guys are not equipped to go to school for business, quote unquote, and then you think you're going to make money on the back end of it when you start your own business. What's most likely going to happen is you're going to have to get a job somewhere else, whether it's in a management role, admin role, or marketing or sales role, and learn inside the business of someone else's business, and then venture out on your own and do your own thing. That guy is an anomaly. I'll put a lot of money on that this guy's an anomaly. It's not something that quite happens the way he described it. So putting that out there. Bro, this makes no sense whatsoever. Like, what? This makes no sense. You're spending thousands of, if you even have it, most likely you have to take out a loan to do this. Go to school just so you can get a status symbol that you went to college because you're a minority. Like that's the one thing I hate about like that I went to school with, who just were there just to graduate and feel better about themselves. It's like for no reason though. Like it's not to better the society or to change government or to, like, most of the time the people that I went to school with who were like activists or anything, or basically what this person is like, they ended up getting a government job working on a laptop, like working on a computer. Like there's nothing wrong with that, but at the same time it's like you go into college with so much ego, you think you're gonna change the world. That's not how it works. Like, don't go into college thinking you're going to change the world, bro. Like, actually make it fundamental to yourself, to your core beliefs, but don't be egotistical about what you think you can accomplish. Like, that's insane to think about. I mean, I commend her for being an activist. Like, I respect that, but I just hated people like this, bro. We're not talking from that perspective. Like, we're not talking about the world in general. We're just talking about here in America. I'm gonna keep it real with you, bro. If you come from a place that doesn't have internet, your main goal should be to get to a place that has internet. Your goal should not be to become a streamer, to become a content creator, vlogging. No, absolutely not. There's places in the Philippines that I've been to that have internet and they enjoy it. They, do what, enjoy internet, whatever, doom scroll, whatever. But if you're coming from a place that absolutely has no internet and no way for you to get on the internet, your main goal should not be becoming a streamer or a content creator or anything. Like, I hate to say it, there's levels to it, bro. Like, your goal should be to get to a place that has internet and has resources that can further you along the game. If that's the game you want to play, if this is the game you want to play, that's how you do it. You don't just stay in one spot just because there's no internet and pray to God or Allah or whoever else. Like, please, someone, come in and bring internet to where I live. Like, dude, go move. Like, you have to move. Oh my God. What's the argument here? Like, there's people who've gone to college and committed to people who went through college and graduated are depressed. Like, it's not, what? I'm not sure I'm following. He's like, bro, how old is this dude? Hold on, I gotta look this up. Bro, this dude's my age. What the Yo, this dude's my age. Hold on. No, that's him. Bro, what's his name? Phase Adapt. What's his name, though? Alex. Bro, that's hilarious. What the Okay. Hey, I get it though. My friends tell me I look like I'm 35. You're a teacher. It says according to various labor reports, about 30 to 40% of college dropouts go on to do well after leaving school, especially if they pursue in-demand skills, entrepreneurship, or specific high-paying industries. I don't believe that. That's got to be cap. You guys need to start reading stuff like this and start thinking that can't be true. There's no way. I don't understand that. Maybe if they like worked for their parents' jobs, or if they, their parents had like owned a business, then like, yeah, technically that's still considered entrepreneurship, or, whatever. There's no way this is true, but yeah, okay, take that with a grain of salt. That's crazy. I mean, yes and no, because I feel like the conversation needs to be more about thinking about what you want to do in college and why you think college is a good idea for you, or if it's not. I don't necessarily believe in like telling people to not go to college the same way as I don't believe in telling people in general to just go to college. I think that you need to like stop, realize like what you want to do, which is very hard, by the way, to do that when you're 18, 19 years old, 20 years old, going into college. Shit, probably even when you're 25, 26 year old going into college. Like, it's not just as simple as, oh, this is the right way to do it and I'm going to do it because society tells me to do it, and it's the right thing. It's probably the more advertised thing to do. Like, that's probably what you're thinking, is that like you see all these ads from different schools around your area to sign up and secure your future. That's probably what's going on, is that you think it's more socially acceptable to just go to college than to try to figure out other venues to make money. Yeah, I think the conversation should be about, why do you want to go to college exactly? Does it align with who you are? Does it align with what you want to accomplish in life? And if you can't answer those questions, I would just very much suggest don't go to college, especially if you have to take out a loan for it. Like, there's no reason to. I know realtors who make money. I know mortgage loan officers that make money. I know people who are building social media agencies that make money. I know people who stream, who make a little side money, but they have a side job. Yeah, like it's just all about answering those questions. Like, do you know who you are? Does it align with your values? Does it align with what you want to accomplish in life? And do you actually truly want to be in HR? Or do you really truly want to be in physical therapy? These are questions you got to ask yourself before you start thinking about taking out a loan, or whatever. But that's just my opinion. I don't know who this Ron guy is. Let's talk about it. God. Bill Gates did not build Apple. I don't want to correct him, but he's an unk. Unk always had to correct. All right, bro, I'm sorry, but he didn't. Yikes. All right. That's how I feel like I'm doing the marketing stuff and like communications and stuff like that. This lady is literally taking what she learned from college, maximizing it to its fullest opportunity. And I think more people should try to do that. I'm trying to maximize as much as I possibly can from having a communications degree by not only perfecting the way I speak and like being able to communicate clearly to other people that are in my vicinity, but also to be able to build content like this and make a video and share it with the rest of the world, because then it amplifies like what I'm trying to say to my closer vicinity. But then also another layer on top of that is like building a business on top of that, which is kind of just like running ads, being a marketing consultant. Like, then I'm teaching other people how to communicate with others as a business tool, which is, now I'm learning from very recent experiences that it's one of the most misunderstood tools in business, is to be able to communicate what you're doing, what you believe in, your values, your mission, how you're wanting to, position yourself as a business in the marketplace. Like, that's all very difficult to do. And if you're going to go into a very, very, very niche specific college degree, you need to be able to maximize all the opportunities as much as possible that you can get from that degree. Because people are going to believe you off rip. So as soon as you're out of college and you graduate with your degree, they're going to believe you just based off what you're saying. But on top of that, you have to prove yourself to, display a certain level of expertise from what you've learned in college. And then you have to be able to sell that on top of that. And then you have to be able to market that so that more people know about you. This is what it is. This lady, Angel, I think is her name, is maximizing her opportunity that she got from the degree. And a lot of people don't do that. They just get a job, roll over day by day, and wait until they're 65, till 80 to die. And then they complain about a whole bunch of things in between. Like, that's just how it goes. But you didn't. That's not a bad shot. Okay. Another thing that I'm trying to add on to my last point about this lady right here. A lot of people aren't built to maximize opportunity, though. That's one thing that I'm 28 now, and I've learned that, being in college and being out, like after college, my post-college life, a lot of people aren't built to maximize their opportunity. That's just real. Like, People just want to have their 9 to 5, 8 to 5, come home, do whatever else that makes them feel alive or whatever. But to really get to a point where she's at, and to get to a point where they're also at, it's not just about investing your money here and there. It's like, where are you investing your money? Can you control that investment? Is there anything that you can do to maximize that investment, to maximize its own returns? That's a concept that's very foreign to a lot of people, and I'm just now finding this out. Like, I had bits of it in college when I was meeting people here and there, that it's like, whoa, why don't you want to maximize, your accounting degree? Like, you just want to get the job and then that's it. Like, okay, cool. But like, especially since after college, because like I got like startup jobs, 2 startup jobs before this job I have now. And even then, it's like it's teams of less than 10 that I've been in, and they just don't want to maximize their life. They don't want to maximize their opportunities that they've been given, whether they went to college or not. It's like, it's very rare to meet somebody. I've worked for 6 or 7 CEOs now, and maybe 1 or 2 of them are real like maximalist of their opportunities. So even at the highest level, it's still not like a thing. So I did want to add that point to what she's saying and what she's doing, because she's making it a point about investment. Some people just don't understand that there's some investments that you can have more of an effect on than others. I'll leave that up to interpretation. All right, this guy's a kid, right? Like, how old is this guy? Because this guy and the dude right behind him, I feel like are real rage baiters. I haven't really heard much about the Asian kid, but these 3 guys right here are rage baiters. They got to be under 25. That was not a good shot. Yeah, no, these guys can't be canceled. Again, once you're part of that 0.0000001%, there's no way you're getting canceled. I think we all know that. Look at Cody Co. Yeah, wow me. That was a bad shot. Buddy. Bro, buddy shot that from the parking lot. Don't think that's how that goes. I don't think that's how that goes. Bro, is this timer real? I feel like it's been more than 5 minutes that they've been yapping. I have heard of this guy, this Jason guy. Okay. Hey, just real quick side note. If I had ChatGPT in college, I would have been like this guy, 4.0. I would have been honor rolls, everything. Like, yeah, just putting that out there. But had you known that before going into college, then you wouldn't have gone to college. So again, know what you want before you go into college. Exactly. I knew it. That was a great video. I like that. Let me see what the comments looking like though. Yep. Rage baiting. My worst case scenario is your reality. Real. And literally dance right now. Hold on. Let me stop sharing this. All right. Thank you guys for watching this video. I don't really have any more thoughts. That was a really long video. This is like 1 hour and 24 minutes in. So, just make the right choices. If you want to go to college, figure out what you want to do with it and why you want to go to college. Don't just do it as a status symbol and either take out loans or pay a huge chunk to be in school, to have a status symbol. It's really not worth it. I don't even have a copy of my degree. I think my mom has it, so I'm going to have to go grab a different copy of it, but of my diploma. So it's not worth it. It's really not. What really matters in the real world is like results. I had results in college because I had jobs in college that had marketing stuff and communication stuff. And I also had my agency that I was working with for realtors and mortgage loan officers and different like personal brands I was working with, like had businesses and results, and I had my degree, and I'm still like pursuing like my dreams of owning like an agency one day, like a real agency. And so while I'm working a full-time job, so it's all part of a journey, and I know what I want now. And I feel like I knew what I wanted when I was like 18, 19, 20 in school. So I feel like everything just kind of like lucked up for me in terms of like my career, in terms of communications and marketing and being in business and all that aligning to be one of the most important skill sets to learn and have in business. So yeah, if that's not what you want to do and you actually want to become a nurse or a doctor or anything like that, then think about it. But if not, then I think you should think harder. So okay, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Really excited about this. Please like and subscribe, and yeah.